Hello, hello, hello. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how long it's been. I just went to look at when I posted my last update, and it's nearly a month ago. So, first off, I'm so sorry for that. But here's part of the issue. I have been on vacation a week ago, and I left on a Sunday and came home on a Sunday. So, I got home a week ago today. And so, last Sunday and the Sunday before, I was traveling, and so I just didn't get around to it. So, I'm so sorry. But I'm going to do two things today since I've been gone on vacation. I got two things. Well, number one, first of all, before I stop rambling, I've been home for a week. I still don't have my luggage, my checked bag, which is a little bit annoying. I'm still looking for the joy in that one. Not finding it, by the way, but that's okay. I have plenty of clothes. I have extra toothbrush at home, but I'll muddle through until that bag somehow manages to show up. So two things. Weeks ago, I was at my best friend's graduation. She got her second master's degree, so I went down to Iowa City for this graduation ceremony. And it's funny this has stuck with me for so long. Like, I literally don't write these things down to sort of relay to you. This has been on my mind every time I get in my car and drive lately. Um, my best friend's Noel's brother's name is Ryan, and Ryan and I were chatting at the table, and he knows that I drive an electric car, and Ryan is a mechanic. Like, he has this huge shop that he built at his house with a lift. He spent a lot of money on that because he works on cars. Like, he loves engines. Um, I was telling him that I bought an electric car because I don't understand engines. I and never have. I understand technology. So my car, I feel more connected to my car now because I understand technology. And there's no engine with oil and bearings and all that stuff that I don't understand. Ryan wants to buy an electric car. He loves engines. He knows everything about them. And I said, oh, well, you must like technology too then. He said, no, he doesn't like technology. He doesn't understand technology. And I was like, that was super interesting to me that here's a guy who understands everything about how his car works and how it operates, and he wants to go and get a car that he doesn't understand. So it just occurred to me that we would be in opposite positions. For years, I've been driving cars and I don't know anything about them. I mean, I could change the oil. I mean, I know how to do stuff like that, but I really don't understand the engine. Ryan is not good with technology. He doesn't like technology. And yet he's going to embark and embrace this idea of buying a car that he doesn't understand. I love that. I don't know why that brings me so much joy, but maybe it's because we hear all this resistance and this pushback to, electrifying our cars across the country. And I imagine that, back in the day when the first people pulled up with a motorized carriage and the neighbor had a horse and carriage, that guy with the horse and carriage thought, where in the hell is this guy going to get gas? This doesn't make any sense. Why would you buy something? There's no infrastructure to get gas. And I'm sure they thought that was silly back then too, but I digress. I love that Ryan is super interested in getting an electric car. So that's been joyful for me for so long because I love that he's embracing that idea. My next one is airplane joy. I don't talk to people on airplanes, generally speaking, because I don't want to get wrapped into a 3-hour conversation at the beginning of a flight, right? But when we land, I generally will start, talking to people. Well, I was going to Mexico recently, and on my way down, I had a changeover in Dallas. And when we were getting off the plane, I started talking to the people next to me. It was a husband and wife, and he's a cattle rancher we left from Fargo, went to Dallas. He's a cattle rancher in some small town in North Dakota. And I'm stereotyping here, but he looks like a cattle rancher, right? And we were talking, and I told them I was going to Puerto Vallarta. I said, oh, we've been there many, many times. They said, we love Puerto Vallarta. And they told me to go to this place called the Red Sombrero and how many times they've been there. And I said, well, why aren't you guys going now? And they said, well, they were just there a month ago, and they were on their way to somewhere, I think, in Florida. And then they started to tell me, I don't know how this came up, that she was telling me, his wife, that they were going to be going to this drag show, a drag queen show. And I was like, wait, I looked at him. I was like, you're going to the drag show as well? And he looked at me and he's like, well, of course I am. Absolutely. I've been to drag shows. They're a blast. And that was so amazingly joyful to me because we now live in a world where a guy that I did unfairly judge. By looking at him, I put him in a box. I knew who he was. He lives in a small town in the middle of North Dakota. He's a cattle rancher. There's a box for that. I put him in that box, and I'm so ashamed for doing that, because here's a guy who's living outside the box and enjoying life and embracing things that he would never see in that small little town in North Dakota. That was incredibly joyful, because it means that the world is expanding. Our ideas about what's right and wrong and acceptable and not acceptable are shifting and evolving, and that is a beautiful thing. And I found joy in that brief conversation I had while getting off the plane in Dallas last week. So with that, find some joy this week. Go out, look for it. Don't put people in boxes like I wrongly did. And find some joy. Do something good. Love somebody. Reach out. Call somebody. And cross your fingers that my luggage comes within the next few days. I would greatly appreciate it. Love.